Thank you, Mr. Chairman. Good morning to both of our secretaries. It's good to be with you. Secretary Buttigieg, you and I have discussed the Gateway project, a series of projects, including the Port of North Bridge and the new Hudson River tunnels in a region that would modernize a 10-mile segment of track that is the linchpin of the Northeast Corridor, a region of the country that generates 20% of GDP for the entire nation. I appreciate that the president and your department have consistently highlighted the importance of Gateway, and I had the pleasure of speaking to Nuria Fernandez, the president's nominee to be the FTA administrator, about the project in her hearing last week. She committed to working with stakeholders to move the Hudson River Tunnel projects through the Capital Investment Grants Program process. And I'd like to ask for a similar commitment from you. Would you commit to working with the project sponsors and congressional delegations in the coming months to get the Gateway project done?
Well, thank you for the question. And yes, you have our commitment to work with your office, other members of the delegations, and the project sponsors on this. This is an example of a project that may be located in one region, but is so critical that you would feel it anywhere in the country if there were to be, for example, a failure in one of these critical tunnels. So we're continuing to see this move along and are committed to working with you to see it go forward.
Well, thank you, Mr. Secretary. I appreciate your appreciation of what the project means. The department has previously said that we should see the environmental reviews for the project by the end of May after years of delay by the Trump administration. Do you know if we're still on track to see that process move forward this month?
We're hopeful to see that move forward soon. And right now, I think the main area where the FTA and I think also FRA have been in touch with the project sponsors has been on the financing plan. As that information comes together, I am hopeful we can move this along as planned.
Okay. A good infrastructure plan not only creates good jobs, but also takes into account how infrastructure affects access to good jobs. Secretary Fudge, does a lack of affordable housing in job-rich areas limit workers' access to good jobs?
There's no question about it. I mean, I was just to spend some time in your state, Senator. And when we don't have people housed properly or have them in a position where they have access to housing or to good jobs or schools, yes, it is a major issue.
Thank you. Low-income communities then have the additional burden of disproportionately lacking access to transit, which could connect communities to jobs. Secretary Buttigieg, does a lack of public transit options also limit workers' access to good jobs?
Unquestionably so. People need to be able to physically get to where the opportunity is. And if they lack good or affordable options to get there, that's an economic barrier.
So therefore, wouldn't you both say that transportation access should be a major consideration when designing affordable housing policy?
Absolutely.
Yes, we think so.
I agree, and that's why I'm reintroducing the Livable Communities Act, which would create a grant program to fund coordinated development of affordable housing and transit so that we can better expand access to economic opportunities. And I look forward to hopefully working with both of you. I hope that the fact that you're both here together, which is not the normal course of events testifying, is also indicative of that both of you will be able to work together because of the nexus between transportation and housing. Madam Secretary, there's a severe nationwide shortage of affordable senior housing. According to the Urban Institute, of the 16.1 million new household formations over the next 20 years, more than 80% of them, 80% will be senior households. I know what it means to seniors in my state, which is a high-cost state. What does this significant increase in senior household mean for our senior public and assisted housing capacity and the senior housing needs that Congress should prepare for?
Senator, I'm so glad you asked that question because people, I think, forget that significant numbers of people who live in public housing are senior citizens. We know that we do not have in place the infrastructure to allow seniors over the next few years to age in place. That is one of the reasons why the jobs plan talks about how we take care of our seniors and puts resources in the 202 plan. I think that it is really important that we start to address this now, as we know the senior population is going to just continue to increase. So I thank you for asking the question, because it's something we must address, and we must address it.
This is where a program like our Trusted Section 202 program is really important. We look forward to working with you and with you, Mr. Secretary, but the transit side of our efforts on the development of our package. Thank you, Mr. Chairman.
Thanks.